Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea only on Win Media 98.9.
Good morning, and welcome to Island Tea right here on Win Media SKN. Guys, it is Tuesday, May 3rd, and we're back after a holiday. I don't know how much rest anybody got because it seems like people were outside.
Yeah.
But we are here. I'm your host, Azam Bailey, and I am here with my lovely co-host and producer, Jade Gwenny Gwen ID to CPL Matter Stuart Johnson. Good morning, Jade.
Good morning. Why they inside in your home?
Jade,
Why they holding you hostage? Do
no,
I
me
need
tell
to
you, no,
do I need to
if
go
I
on a
tell
rescue
you,
mission?
Jade, blink twice, Jade. But
Friend, I'm getting
no,
concerned. I'm getting concerned.
no, I'm actually gonna be home. So I'll talk to you in two about what's going on with that. But yes,
They're
I
holding you
am
hostage
safe.
for real. Oh my god.
I'm safe. I'm safe. I'm happy for the concern. I
Hmm.
can't say that. I can't say that. I can't say that. Okay, sorry. But Jade, how are you doing?
I am okay. Can't complain. I'm a little tired because I went to sleep kind of late last night, as usual. But other
And
than
you
that,
were
I
up
cannot.
early, and you were up early yesterday too.
Yeah.
Mm.
I may
And
sleep
just
yesterday, so you know what I mean.
yeah,
But
yeah.
guess what?
Well,
I am joined in this feeling by the thousands and thousands of people who decided to be outside last night. I know this morning is a real struggle for you guys because yeah, y'all wasn't home until late. So they're gonna be rough for
it
everybody.
seems like there were it seems like there were a lot of things going on depending on what time you woke up and what time you wanted to go to sleep. seemed as though there was brunches happening in the morning and then concerts that went down into the evening.
It was an
So
eventful weekend.
we've had an event. Watch it out, Jade. So most of the listeners would know I'm not on island, and I have just been walking around, and people been going, "Eske man, what going on here? Eske, what going on with that down there?"
Nothing was that being out the country of people recognizing your accent and realizing that your country imploding. No, you got to go stand up and explain. Like, no, it's really not bad. It's just, you just.
One of the things that's interesting too, I've been meeting people that listen to the show. And this one
Really?
man, this one man, like he literally came up on stage and had to wrangle with a security officer because he just wanted to make sure I was the dude who he just see on the radio. So, well, on YouTube. So I eventually saw the guy, like, and he was like waving, like, as the security guard is trying to direct him off the stage. So I eventually just tell the security guard, let him on. And then he comes up and he goes, "You the guy from the show, the morning," he said morning tea.
That's how listen, I might as well be named at this point because nobody just remember Island is like the morning tea. I'm like, bro, come on.
Jed, so I go, yeah, man. So you're obviously a fan of the show. He said, yeah, man, I listen to the show when I get the chance, to put it on and listen. And he goes, but come like, y'all have a love affair with elections, man.
See?
So, but Jed, bear in mind that at this present point, there is a young lady who is obviously intoxicated doing things that her mother wouldn't be proud of on the stage.
Vibes.
I'm supposed to be paying attention to it.
I've seen that all weekend. I've been seeing that all weekend, Adam. Listen, somebody need to go repent. Big up Akai one time.
No, Akai, I think Akai may have made a deal with the ancestors because he has powers.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Akai has powers. I'm convinced.
I am same.
I'm convinced he has powers. I don't know what he did to get the powers. I don't know if he had to chant a psalm or go down in the cemetery at a certain time. I don't know what it was, but he obviously had powers.
Yeah.
Obviously had powers. And people see him too this weekend. You know what it is, Jade? And I recognize it here too. Because obviously it's carnival. It was carnival time in Virgin Gorda when I was there. It's carnival time here in St. Thomas. And people are just so... So where you thought I was?
Where did I think you were?
Exactly. Where thought I was?
No, Tartola.
I was in Tartola for like 3 days.
See, that ain't my fault.
Yeah, but I was like almost a week ago.
Oh, well, I was close.
Well, over a week actually.
I was close.
So I realize what's happening is that people are just so happy
to be back outside.
To be back out style and engage in what Cromwell termed it, party style dancing.
Indeed.
And stuff like that. That people just really just expressing the fact that we could do this. Like look at what we can do again.
I compare it to when you have dogs tied down for a bit and then you just loose the kennel.
Yeah.
Pandemonium. Yeah. I love it to see it. Listen, I was so excited to see everybody so happy, right? Oh my gosh. It felt like some sense of normalcy.
Yeah. I think that for me too, I don't know. See, for me, one of the hallmarks of a good Kititian campaign is the free concerts.
You better believe it.
I believe that when historians look back at Labor Day weekend in St. Kitts 2022, it would signal the official start of the campaign season, as we had so many opportunities to enjoy music and performances that were facilitated by the different political parties.
And don't forget listening to the politicians themselves, because there were meetings happening as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. They had meeting, right? It was Labour had meeting in the town.
Labour been had meetings. Boy. Labour been having meetings from since they realize what time it is. They've been
Wise.
gearing up.
Wise.
Yes, quite so.
I am still waiting for NRP sighting. They seem to have a different strategy in relation to, preparing for the next election. And
It's funny enough, the only other party that I've seen actually be vocally nervous in a while has been the new one. Sorry, I spoke about them last week, but I can't remember the name exactly of them, but they are busy. They are busy.
So you think we're gonna see more free concerts as time goes on?
Yes, I definitely believe so. Somebody is sending me some stats. They're being boasting about the concert. This is from somebody who is technically a part of the PLP team, and it says that they had an estimated 3,994 people in attendance last night at New.
So the number again, Jane.
3,994 estimated people.
Wait, hold on. This is an estimate. How is the estimate 394?
Sorry, 3,994.
Yeah, but how is it's an estimate? How is the estimate not just 4,000? How does one estimate to 994 people?
Stranger things have happened in life, friend.
Hey, well, congratulations to them. It did seem like it was well attended.
It did seem well attended. I've been looking at the pictures and the lives. There was a sea of people.
Yeah.
It made my anxiety rise because so many people.
Well, congratulations to them. It did seem like one thing I have to say. I love the way that the young people seem to be a little less tribal. I saw yesterday.
Yeah, they get what up.
No, but not only that, Jade. I saw yesterday persons from one particular political party, at least, let's say, pass through the event for another political party, down to the point where they did the little 360 photo in their gabs from the other party. Like, I think at one point that might have been like a declaration of war in some instances, but no man, people living good.
No, it's more like, oh, what going on here? Yeah, I got the 360 thing, let me jump on it. I like it. I prefer this type of politics. Like, we could not support the same party. We could have differences in opinions, but we could be respectful. We could still be friends. We could still not cuss each other. Like, we don't have to do all of that. Leave that to the politicians.
I keep saying
literally friends.
Yeah, that's the thing about it. That's the thing about it, Jade. I remember years ago, I went to do a private event for a particular businessman, and in attendance were pretty much all of the politicians at the time, some of who have now left the arena. And I literally looking at them, sipping on something, hanging out, laughing, talking, and I'm just there looking at this like, if people could see this, if people could see that the politicians themselves aren't at each other's throats all the time, and just waiting for an opportunity to wrap their fingers around their scrawny little necks, like they would recognize that, hey, the way that we behave is really unwarranted.
Literally unwarranted.
I know people who have been put out of their homes because they supported the party that was not the party that their family traditionally supported. Like, I know that has happened. Like, I know people that has happened.
That is crazy.
And for a place where our motto is country above self, sometimes you feel like the hierarchy goes, it's more like party above self, above country.
Yeah, literally. Like, I am still shocked that people are shocked that they see pictures and videos of Uncle Dougie and Uncle Drip over in Nevis laughing. And I'm like, bro, you think they're supposed to be like, you think these is gang men? You think these
The thing
man
is
gonna be...
on site. The thing is like on site. No,
You think they behave like, you remember when we used to go to Juve and as soon as like one side to the other is what?
on site.
They behave like that's what they expected. I'm like, bro, these is big grown men. Yes, they might disagree on policy and party differences, but they're not about to just fight each. What y'all expect to see the people unboxing in town?
I mean, would I like to see it? Sometimes,
Yeah,
yes.
I
But
mean,
no,
just to see
I
who would
don't
win,
like-
but not because...
I'm more curious about it than anything else.
Yeah,
I don't think
I'm
I
more
don't
curious
think I'd
because
really
of
support-
party. I'm curious because I want to know who's going to win.
Yeah.
But yeah, somebody
But,
here saying that the PLP people gonna jump up because they had a 10% party increase. Well, the party, 10% salary increase. Well, the salary increase ain't just for PLP supporters. I'm not sure if you know RCE, but it's for everybody who works under the umbrella of the government, which I currently wish I was since, things increasing. But
hey, I don't work for the government, but I can tell you something. This is long overdue, guys.
yes.
I mean, with the increase in the cost of living, like it's one thing to see like gradual increases and your salary not, keep the same pace. But the increases have been so drastic that things have been happening where you literally like you feel the drop in your spending power almost instantly with some of these things. I mean, for me personally, when the gas started to just lose its mind, the gas prices, I don't know, the gas prices like they're trying to trod Mount Zion or something. It's like you feel it, like it's not even to say, well, at the end of the month you realize, man, I'm not able to save as much as I usually do. No, you feel it in your pocket. You're going, my gas went from $180 to $230. Like that's serious.
Very much so. Like
Yes.
I still can imagine doing that. Like as kid, every time one of my friends go to the gas station is like, they cannot believe it. They cannot believe it.
Jade, I don't even get down on the motorcycle man them no more. I say you all may have foreseen this coming.
Yeah, man.
You all just need to foresee the car that coming around the corner when you're overtaking. That's what I need to start foreseeing.
Small things.
Yeah, but in terms of economics, it seems as though they have a crystal ball and they have been prepared.
No, they got the right idea.
I think in Nevis need to start really, training the donkeys them and exporting them as vehicular options, because you know how we talk about the monkey problem in St. Kitts?
Yeah.
Like what Nevis doing about the donkey problem?
What I could about it? But try to sell them to us.
I don't tell you, monkey, that donkey meat, especially out in Nevis. I don't know why the Nevis donkey meat is so coveted, but it's a thing. I've seen it. I've seen the signs put up that say donkey meat straight out of Nevis, and I've seen the response from the people who run in to go get this true donkey meat, their barbecue donkey meat, and so maybe Nevis
barbecue donkey meat. Oh, my mother's.
Now, Jade, I've seen it at a food festival. I mean, talking about in a little back alley nowhere. It was at a food festival.
Vibes, barbecue donkey meat, eh?
Barbecue, stew, jerk.
Well,
there was no fried donkey meat, which I feel might have been even a bigger hit. But
you drop something in oil, it is automatically get better also. I believe you.
Actually, a guy man in Anguilla used to go late night food snack. The man said anything you want, the man just drop it in hot oil and give you.
Yeah.
Man say, by the time I went, I order, a potato salad with me food. Anything come, but the man for the potato salad.
Oh, he walking on you. He walking on you as if the cholesterol boy.
Oh
Somebody
my
said, I know,
gosh.
right? I go to the supermarket to buy rice. The rice price was $5.58. Now it's $10.70. Lord, we can't afford rice no more. Watch here. We can't do this, you
Jade,
know? We can't do this.
Jade, I wait till when they get the new bread prices. Yeah, I'm gonna say kick up.
They don't know. Some of them don't out. I see some new one the other day. I said, my mother say I can't eat starch now.
Oh,
Starch used to
oh,
be the cheapest thing you could have.
oh. I get learn, you know. But I see people just start to go back to wind fritters and fry ice.
Bye, listen.
That's it. But
Somebody saying
yeah,
no
Jade,
volume on the YouTube feed. Sir, that is you. No volume on your YouTube feed. Unmute your browser, unmute wherever you got to unmute. But that is not us because everybody else on YouTube is fine.
yeah, they commenting and letting us know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, but boy, things expensive. But yeah, they're getting
Yeah.
and you speaking of food, there was something else that also was announced yesterday. It says duty-free allowance May 1st to September on £500 free of duties and taxes. But then I was told that that was just on food, which okay. I mean, thanks, but I was I was hoping it was for other things too. I'm not gonna lie. I was so
No,
excited.
once you see it stated like that, it definitely was. I know it was gonna be food. Um,
Sorry.
I mean, look, don't get me wrong, Jade. I am all for um these little relief these little relief measures. I do believe though that we have to really step back and look at our whole entire tax system. I think we a lot of times we use taxes to, of course, earn revenue, sorry, for the government, which is necessary. But I think a lot of times the government don't use the tax system to incentivize persons into behavior that they would like. They try to tend to punish it because they think they're gonna get more money, and I don't think that's necessarily the case.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at like Jay, the VAT, we gotta do something about the VAT. You can't tell me every dollar earned or spent 17 cents just gone out of the whole dollar. 17 cents?
17 cents. Seven, you know
Some
what
people,
is 17 cents?
no, but
As
Jay,
if you
that's
know
every
things I
dollar, you
could do with
know.
17 cents.
That ain't every $100, you know. That's every dollar. Every $100 you spend, $17 gone through. Like that's the money gone
$17 is a
somewhere.
full meal, eh? Like a full meal.
Jay, literally, that's what it is. Every time you spend $100, you just got to work out. Well, that's one less meal I could get.
Oh, my brothers.
A meal with a drink to you. Meal
I
with a
would I
drink.
drink. Would I drink? Listen, well, let me don't say that because right now water, hey. Remember when water was $2.50? Water is $5 and up now. Water, you know.
Jade, but I can tell you something, right? I down here and it's ridiculous. I mean, of course, I stay in a hotel, so the story that I'm about to tell happened in a hotel, but it's been bad all over because a bottle of water, right, in the village was like 5 US. 5 US, Jade, a bottle of water.
$13.50?
5 US they're selling the water them. Right? And then on top of that now, I went to the so I went up to I went up to the well, it ain't even a restaurant, it's like a little pool bar, the little breakfast. And one of the band members for one of the other bands come up there, and so we were just talking. The guy comes and he says, "What you having?" I said, "Man, I just have an omelet and you know, some potato tots or something." So the guy comes over and says, "Here, off the waiter comes over and offering the guy the menu. He says, "No man, I know what it is, man. I just want 4 slices of wheat toast, lightly buttered, and some black coffee."
That's what
So
you
I walk
ordered,
out.
or this was somebody ordered?
That's what the guy ordered from the
Uh-huh.
guy. Jade, the man said, "Okay, sure, that's all you want?" Man said, "Yeah, that's good. That's all I need to do." You know, so he got him to me, "Yeah, man, I try to eat late in the morning. And you know, I'm gonna, you know, try to. We're traveling today, so I'll probably eat before we travel."
Mm-hmm.
And back up and thing. Yeah, cool. And we continue talking. The waiter comes over with the bill, and the man went from full proper English into full on bring out man, like he just end right back up in a tenement yard in Kingston. Like the man
He could
the man
believe.
said, "I want the bomb," right? Jay, the man pushed the receipt to me. The receipt had on $16. $16 for 4 pieces of bread.
Please remember to tell them US. They say easy prices, eh? So I'm going to do some
16
calculations here. 16 times 2.7, $43.20 for 4.
For 4 pieces of bread, Jade. I said, "But the man ain't feel. The man ain't got a heart.
They feel bad. Bring the bill. Like, I don't feel bad.
So, of course, the man was like, "Yo, me not pay this year." So,
That's how left, but okay.
So the man said, "Oh, I not telling you how to charge. Like, I know you don't make the prices, but I'm telling you that I am not paying the price." So the man get up, tell me, "Yo, Royal, more times, boom, boom, boom." That's me, got my business.
He left the bread on
The
it.
waiter come back over. The waiter was like, I offered him the menu, you know. He told me he knew what he wanted. Obviously, he didn't know what he wanted. I said, "No, he knew what he wanted. He also knew what he wasn't going to pay."
It's kind of insane to tell somebody $43 for 4 slices of bread. I'm not gonna lie.
4 slices of bread, Jade.
Yeah.
I said, them not believe in a God.
That's 2 bags of bread here. That's 2 bags of sliced bread here.
But even saying that sounds crazy to me. 2 bags of sliced bread for $40-something. That is ridiculous. But what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they
Somebody is saying you'll take little and live long. We want everything free. Who said anything about free? All I wanted is duty off. May said up about free up to now. I did not mention the word free. All I said is I would have appreciated if duty was off on something else. Nobody said free. Somebody else said, Jade, I live in Texas. It is expensive. Also, we are paying $3.44 per gallon for gas. I don't even want to drive anymore.
$3.44 is insane for gas in the US. That is insane.
Bye. We soon can't afford to live on this planet, you know?
Yeah, you know, like, so we have been a little this, like people, you know, commenting on the VAT thing. You know, my big pet peeve with VAT is, it's not even VAT. Like, it's not even VAT. Like, these words have meaning, you know. Like, that's the thing.
Value added tax.
It's not VAT. Like, why we keep calling it VAT? I don't understand. Like, it's not VAT.
It's
just
VAT-ish.
say, yeah, I want it. Just say, is give me money tax. Because VAT has to do with when you change a good from one state to another state. So, for instance, you got the farmer, and the farmer harvests the cotton from his sheep, right? He takes the cotton and he gives it to a clothing manufacturer. The clothing manufacturer takes the cotton and makes clothing, and so he has now added value to the cotton. What happens is they tax the value that was added based on the process. That's what value added tax is.
Not you.
And then when you
Not you at all.
Here is, you spend $1, give me 17 cents. Just call it gimme tax.
Bro, nothing is
Just
worse.
call it gimme tax. I feel better.
Yeah, because, I mean, literally, that's what it is. Nothing is worse than when you buy things, you order things, and they add tax, and then they add another tax on the tax. How you adding taxes on the tax?
Jade, I believe that is actually illegal. I believe
I think so. I think they're robbing us.
Like,
I feel like they've been robbing us, because how you adding tax on a tax?
You impose the tax and then gonna tax the tax.
Bruh.
How high I guess about it? That they're almost as bad as $16 for 4 slices of bread.
Buddy, before we continue to cuss, we have to talk some trash. Our lovely friend is here as usual.
Tell Nama I miss her. Tell Nama I'll be back soon.
Oh, she touched her chest and she went, oh, just like I did.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, Nama.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's time, Dave.
Yeah, Nama probably upset because this week, I know this weekend come with a lot of trash, eh? I know this week it was terrible, but Lord.
Bye.
Yes.
I was gonna say we have responsible event promoters, but some of the events them was all over town. So I don't know how.
Yeah, really sure who was the promoter and who was responsible. But we'll jump into it next. Stick and stay, guys. We'll be right back with more Island Tea right here on Win Media SKN.
Country, try to do something positively. Be a watchdog for the environment. Don't leave everything to the government. We dump our garbage anywhere, lit on the streets everywhere. Our behavior is telling me that we really don't care. Take some pride in your country. Volunteer to clean where it's dirty. Tourism development needs a healthy environment. Whenever we litter, we threaten our survival. So those who engage in it should be treated like criminals. So don't be afraid at all if they call you an informer. Report those who endanger our future. So if you really love this blessed land, this situation demands attention. Think about the future generation. Do what we can to preserve this island. The laws for littering we must enforce. We have to let justice take its course. If you are a proud citizen, you have the right, you have a reason to save this land from destruction. You have an obligation to become involved in anything which affects this nation.
The Solid Waste Management Corporation, SWMC, is working hard each and every day to keep St. Kitts clean. Our primary mandate is to collect household waste while maintaining the engineer sanitary landfill in Connery. While it is the responsibility of businesses to see to it that their garbage is properly collected and disposed of at the landfill, the SWMC offers a commercial waste disposal service with our Nosy program. We also offer a bin rental service where persons can rent large bins to do community cleanups or other waste disposal activities. Additionally, our headquarters in Taylor's Range include state-of-the-art conference rooms for rental. So when you're hosting another event, consider using the SWMC conference facilities. We want to continue serving you by keeping our environment clean. Because at the SWMC, waste matters. For more information, call our office at 465-9507.
Good morning, guys, and welcome back to Win Media SKN. And of course, during Island Tea on Tuesdays, 8:30, we have our friends from the Solid Waste Management Corporation joining us for Talking Trash Today is no different. And in studio, we have with us Nama. Nama, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, Azim. I miss you too.
All right.
Yes, it's been a while. Yes.
Soon.
Jade, how are you today?
Jade, mic off.
We can't hear you, Jade.
Mic off, Jade.
Oh, sorry. I was in here discombobulated because my graphics doing their own things.
Oh dear.
But I'm fine nonetheless. You know, usual things on Island Tea. Usual things. But how are you, darling?
I'm okay. Yes, I'm surviving.
I must say I'm
especially
not sure
after
if I
this
believe you, but
weekend.
you know.
Well, we must press on.
We
You
must.
know, we must press on.
My favorite saying is, but we move.
I like that. But we move. Yes, I love that. Yes, so we're here yet another Tuesday, preaching the same message once again. But I am hoping that this Tuesday, what we have to say will resonate a little bit more, especially after this weekend's incidents, at least on certain parts of the island. Yes. Now I know next week, Sunday, is Mother's Day.
Wow, already.
Yes. So, of course, I want to wish everybody a happy Mother's Day. Leading up to Mother's Day, make sure you treat your mamas well and so forth, etc., etc., etc. We know the usual.
Yeah, man.
However, I want us today to focus on the mother of us all, and that's Mother Nature. So we all have a common mother, and that mother is Mother Nature. And the same way we would want to treat our mother well, not just for Mother's Day, but actually throughout the entire year, it's the same approach I would like for us to take with Mother Nature. So our collective mother, Mother Nature, needs to be taken care of. We need to be a bit more mindful of what we do to Mother Nature. Because the same way, when you upset your mother, it's the same way when Mother Nature is upset, she gonna lick with tail. And sometimes, just like in the household, especially for those of us who grew up in a large household with a lot of siblings, you didn't do nothing, but you get licks too.
Vividly could remember. Anyway, you just trigger me.
You get you get licks as well, because you either saw, even if you didn't see.
You just happen to be in the area.
Exactly. Licks sharing left, right, and center.
You ain't just fall on the just and the unjust.
Exactly. So if we don't want to get licks, make sure we treat our mothers well. So we need to make sure we treat Mother Nature well. And the incident, well, we had a lot of rain over the weekend. It started before the weekend, etc. And it was really disheartening seeing all the plastic bottles and debris that would wash down the guts and litter the streets and, cover up the train tracks, which then obviously, because the train wants to be able to operate, they have to try and get rid of that, which is an added cost. And then we're talking about, we saw an incident, a video was sent to me by several individuals of a derelict vehicle being removed from the gut because it was blocking the waterway. When Mother Nature says she wants to pass, she will find a way to pass. Now, the heavy downpour up in the mountains meant that a lot of water was coming down those guts. And a derelict vehicle blocking that meant that water found another pathway. So we saw some good amount of flooding, which meant destruction of some of the roads, not entire destruction, but it did remove some of the paved parts of the roads and etc. And this would have been up in Phillips's. And it was really, really disheartening seeing this. And of course, persons would have been affected, persons' livelihood would have been affected. And I'm not sure if we have if the community has yet been able to assess just how much damage, both short-term and long-term, this would have caused. Now, we say this at least once a month I say this. To dispose of a derelict vehicle at the landfill is $20.
Just 20 EC.
Just $20. Right? So unlike oil and butter and all of these other things that have gone up in prices, Solid Waste Management Corporation has not.
No, you have not.
Okay? So we implore you, if you have derelict vehicles, to please call us. If you're unable to remove them and get them to the landfill, call us 465-9507. I repeat that again, 465-9507 or 466-1471. And we can make the necessary arrangements, or at least we would have an idea of, okay, these vehicles are in this place. We can assess and see how dangerous they may be to the community, to the environment. And then, of course, we'll deal with those that are most hazardous at first and then come to that. But at least we need to have an idea of, okay, these vehicles actually exist. Vehicles, more than half of these vehicles are not needed for parts. They're not. You go there and individuals say they need for some part, but the part that they need it for, they're not even going to touch the vehicle for the next 5-10 years. This vehicle has created its own ecosystem in there. Again, we need to respect Mother Nature. Mother Nature is providing food for us. It's providing an environment, a safe environment in which we could live in. However, if we tamper with that, we will pay the consequences. We will reap those repercussions.
We will.
And unfortunately, as Azim said, the rain falls on the just and the unjust.
Indeed.
And the same way when we mommy used to come home and somebody did something and lick share left, right, and center. Is the same way all of us. Well, I used to hide. I used to hide. When I see licks started to share, there was this cupboard, and I shot, and back then I was little. I would hide, and they couldn't get to me. So they would call me. They could not get to me. I would find us and I would hide. So lick sharing out to my siblings them, and me hide behind that cupboard. And But sometimes there's nowhere to hide.
There's nowhere to run. Yes.
There's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Because when it's flooding, the flood ain't going to say, well, now I don't litter, so let me pass you. It's not going to do that. So we need to be our brother's keepers. We need to watch out for one another. And whenever we litter, we endanger our survival. That's a song that plays every single time before we start the show Talking Trash. Whenever we litter, we endanger our survival. So that Sweetie Rapper, that bottle. Now, let me tell you, the different varieties of bottles that I saw on the roads after that whole got washing down story, I could not believe it. Now, the little bottles, I could say, well, somebody drank something and threw that away. But there were some big plastic bottles. What are these plastic bottles doing there?
Chilling.
Who threw this huge, massive, what would cross your mind to say, okay, I am going to take this big plastic bottle and I'm going to throw it just indiscriminately somewhere? And Dr. Eric Brown was with us a few weeks ago, and he told us of the journey that this plastic bottle can take and how detrimental it is to all of us. And we need to share these messages with our loved ones. We need to share these messages, this information with every single person. If you are a proud citizen, you have a right and an obligation to save this land from destruction. That's what the song says. Mm-hmm. If you are a proud citizen, and I'm going to add to that because, we have someone who likes to say, dear citizens and residents, so you need to be a proud resident as well. Because we are living here. The rain is not gonna come down, something is not gonna come down and say, well, she ain't born here. So I gonna bypass. No. It's not gonna work like that. We are all gonna be affected. If you're here temporarily, if you have chosen to live on this land, if you were born on this island, on these islands, you need to be a proud citizen. And even if you're not a proud citizen, just ensure that you're...
Pretend.
Yeah, because, I mean, nobody wants to be destroyed. So wouldn't it just make more sense for us to just play our part, do what we need to do, and ensure that we protect this island? Because it's our home. This is where we live. This is where we are gonna have to survive. If something happens, more than likely, none of us can leave the island. So we need to ensure we protect it, and we need to ensure that we create an environment where if the worst comes to the worst, we are not doing things now that can aggravate that situation. So you don't want waterways being blocked in case we have heavy rainfalls, and then we have, the guts. Allow the guts to carry the water down. If we have derelict vehicles in these guts, it means that water is going to find another pathway because that derelict vehicle is blocking the pathway, which then means flooding. How is it? Why is it so? First of all, how this derelict vehicle even end up in the gut?
That has been my question for me. Sometimes when you look at where these vehicles are abandoned, it must be more work to put it there than to just take it to landfill and pay the $20.
Yep.
It is. Imagine this entire vehicle. How are you gonna take this entire vehicle and just shove
And it's
it?
just $20 just to carry it to solid waste.
Just $20. Now, somebody might say maybe $20 is a lot for them, but what about the flooding? When your whole entire... Exactly. Prevention is better than cure.
It is.
It is.
It is.
Prevention is better than cure, because cure is going to cause you a lot. And curing something is actually a lot more painful than preventing it. So in order for you to cure some kind of disease that you've developed because of some kind of, it's a lot more painful. So why would you want to put yourself through all of this? Why do you want to put yourself to having to clean up your homes because there was flooding? Why do you want to put yourself through maybe you had animals on your property and now you've lost them, or now you've created breeding ground for mosquitoes. Now everybody's gonna get dengue and all kind of.
All of us sick just because you was too lazy or too willful to carry something across the solid waste.
Exactly. One person, one individual's decision has now affected hundreds, if not thousands, of individuals, and that is why when you see something happening, report it. It does not make you a snitch, and you will not be getting stitches. However, if you don't report it, you just might be getting stitches from being washed away by the water. So, come on, guys.
Let's just do better. And the thing is, every week you come here and you tell them how important it is for them to just do the part, the simple parts. You're not asking them to go out and clean up the world. You're not asking them to go above and beyond. Simply just telling them, dispose of your waste in a way that is going to be good for the environment.
That's it.
Simple.
It's very simple, but for some reason, we do not follow simple instructions. We like complication.
Yeah, man, so that be.
Some people just nasty. Report them.
Yeah, that too.
Exactly.
Report
Report it. And I'm going to call out the numbers again.
So I was going to call names.
465. Do not call names. You can call names after the segment. No, I'm not gonna. No. I'm not gonna be calling names. I do not do that. I do not do that. I have to get those instructions in writing and be signed by the entire board before I come on here and call any names. I don't do that. But I'm going to call our numbers so that if you see anything, you can report it. So 465-9507 and 466-1471. And you can let us know. And we will have our little wardens out there checking these situations out as soon as possible. Now, yes, we have persons in society who are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. We have individuals in society who watch on or look on and do not report the matter, and so you're accessory to it. But we do have individuals in society who are trying to make a difference. Indeed. And who are trying to treat Mother Nature well. And so groups like Clean Seas, right? St. Kitts Nevis Clean Seas. Mm-hmm. I believe it was last week, Friday. They actually had an initiative where they were planting some trees. And so we're trying to nurture and try to give back to Mother Nature, trying to replenish and just kind of add to Mother Nature because we've taken so much away from Mother Nature. Now, speaking about trees, I was speaking with a gentleman. He's a farmer from Keon, and he was telling me that we, especially when we're cutting our yards, etc., the weed cutters actually often damage the trees. And so when you see your trees not really flourishing and so forth, you really need to look at the weed cutter. When it is you're cutting the grass too close to the trees, and that it's like a constant abuse to the plant. Mm-hmm. And so the plant is affected. So you might think maybe you need manure or some sort of what do you call it? What's this thing that we put to
fertilizer?
Fertilizer, right. Mm-hmm. You might think that's what you need, but really and truly it's only because you've been abusing the poor tree. So show the tree a little bit more love. Those shrubs and the trees, if you look at the base and you're seeing a lot of damage or marks, it means that whoever is cutting your property, the grass, mm-hmm. is probably overly abusing your tree. So have a conversation with them. Please do not go and be all agitated and aggressive, because for the most part, a lot of us don't know that. We don't look at nature as an entity that maybe has feelings or would react to abuse. We're not mm-hmm. looking at it from that perspective. And so just let them be mindful and let them know that, you don't want this happening. Find another way to trim the grass. Yeah.
In terms of just the landscaping, generally, mm-hmm. that's why you would see there is a border around the base of the trees mm-hmm. where the grass stops. Sometimes people just put like mulch.
Right.
Or, stuff like around the base of the tree so that the grass doesn't go directly to the tree, the base of the tree.
Okay.
And I think that's part of what it looks nice.
And it does. It actually is very appealing to the eyes and so forth, to the sight. So for those of you who probably have some of that on your property and have other, trees that aren't circled and so forth, look at the difference in the two trees to actually see if one is flourishing more than the other. And I'm sure probably you'll be able to tell the difference. And so just be mindful about that when it comes to, because this week we really want to give back to Mother Nature. Not just this week. This week I want us to think about Mother Nature as our mother, because that's exactly what she is. And mm-hmm. think about what are we going to do going forward to give back and to nurture her and to just be kinder to her, because sometimes, we are not as kind to our mother, especially teenage girls. When we reach a certain age, mm-hmm. And we start to battle it out with our mothers and so forth, we're not always as kind. Sometimes as children in general, we're not kind to our mothers and their plights and what they go through. And so I want us to look at Mother Nature in the same way and think about what we can do. So Clean Seas has decided they're going to plant some stuff. Tourism has decided we're going to do plastic-free July. And so, let's start practicing from all now. May, June, by the time July hits, we are perfect at it. And then we can continue it after that. But every year, tourism has Plastic-Free July. And after seeing the amount of plastic that has been washed down those guts, I do believe we need to have Plastic-Free July, August, September, October, November, going straight down.
I agree.
And that is where we have to start, I believe, plastic-free. Let's see how much plastic we can cut down on, how much we can refuse, and then the ones that we do take in, let us get them back to the necessary entities when we're finished with them. Not throw them down the guts, not throw them at the beach, no. We have a lot of events coming up. With Music Fest coming up, there are going to be a lot of events. Please ensure you do not throw those plastics into the sea. When you have parties, find the garbage bag, find the garbage bin. There's always going to be one. And individuals who are hosting, ensure that you provide the facilities for people to dispose of their waste properly. And it's actually going to help you in the cleanup process as well. Mm-hmm. Why do you want to be bending down, collecting thousands and thousands of bottles when it is you can just be closing up bags?
Simple, eh?
Right?
Simple.
My cousin always tells me, like, sometimes she's like, oh, Dama, why are you cutting the vegetables there? And then you're going to have to put them there. No, she doesn't believe in, no. For her, basically the shortest thing she got to do, that's what she's gonna do.
Work smart.
Exactly. So, but I like to compartmentalize. So we don't always mesh too well when it comes to that. So what I want for us to do is to make a pledge. Between today and next week, make a pledge to be kinder to Mother Nature. And stick by that pledge. Mm-hmm. That, okay, I'm going to be kinder to Mother Nature. And these are the 3 things I'm going to do. I'm going to change about myself and my environment that are going to ensure that I am kinder to Mother Nature. That's what I want y'all to do. I also would like for individuals to comment in the Facebook and the YouTube, the comment section, and let us know of any initiatives that are taking place that individuals are doing. So if it's cleaning up of the beaches, if it's cleaning up of guts, if it's planting, if it's plastic-free July, like tourism, if anybody from tourism is, send us some information. Clean Seas is always doing something. Send us information. If you have something within your community that you're doing, let us know, because when we realize that other people are doing things, we will join in.
True.
And so put it in the comment section below so that if anyone ever asks, all I have to do is tell them, well, go down to Island Tea, YouTube or Facebook, and look in the comment section for May the 3rd, and you will see all the different things you can become involved in.
Simple.
Yeah, it's that simple. So I believe that's it for me for this week.
Oh, wow. Time flew.
Yes, it did. And I just want to make sure that I remind us all that our common mother, Mother Nature, loves us. Mm-hmm. And we need to love her in return. We need to embrace her in return, and we need to treat her just a little kinder.
As we should.
Yes. So with that, I remind us again, don't forget, waste matters. Bye, everyone.
Country, try to do something positively. Be a watchdog for the environment. Don't leave everything to the government. We dump our garbage anywhere, lit on the streets everywhere. Our behavior is telling me that we really don't care. Take some pride in your country. Volunteer to clean where it's dirty. Tourism development needs a healthy environment. Whenever we litter, we threaten our survival. So those who engage in it should be treated like criminals. So don't be afraid at all if they call you an informer. Report those who endanger our future. So if you really love this blessed land, this situation demands attention. Think about the future generation. Do what we can to preserve this island. The laws for littering we must enforce. We have to let justice take its course. If you are a proud citizen, you have the right, you have a reason to save this land from destruction. You have an obligation to become involved in anything which affects this nation. situation.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Manifest your desires, celebrating mothers in May. Manifest your desires while we celebrate mothers in the month of May at Horsewood's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store. Get 20% off store-wide on big and small appliances, bedroom and dining room sets, stoves, refrigerators, smart flat screen TVs, living room sets, mattresses, dryers, blenders, toaster ovens, and much, much more. Manifest your desires while we celebrate mothers in the month of May at Horsewood's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store with 20% off store-wide. Manifest your desires as we celebrate mothers in May and get 20% off store-wide at Horsewood's. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
Good morning, guys, and welcome back on Win Media SKN. It is still Tuesday, May 3rd, guys, and yeah, we're back. And I'm sure, as you guys know, right after we've come out of the Talking Trash, it's tea time. I can't even hear good because of us from all the non-sleeping nights and the talking over loud music.
Oh, I thought it was all the fetting you've been doing. My bad.
Jade. Come on, Jade. I actually, ironic you would say that. There's a friend of mine listening to the show right now. Morning, Chantel, and she was cussing me because I didn't dance for the entire time I was here.
She is this a new friend?
No, I've known her for quite some time.
So then why would you think that you would dance?
Exactly. That was my whole point. That's my whole point. I'm working. When I'm working, I'm very focused.
Yeah, you're not a dance. Even if you're not working, I've never seen you dance.
Exactly. Jade,
I'm not even sure if you know how to.
Jade, I danced one time. I think it was 93.
Oh, wow. How was that experience for you?
It didn't feel too bad, but it wasn't really my thing. Really my thing.
I see.
The closest I get to dancing is when I'm on stage and I have to.
I lie. Yeah, I just about to say when you're performing, you just do a little jig, with your you don't go back up. Yeah.
I don't. But I still don't call it dancing. It's part of the job. I'm working.
Okay. We'll go with that. But speaking of jobs and people who might be about to lose them.
Oh boy.
So we had something happen this weekend where the wing of a national airline aircraft collided with a light pole.
Yeah, I saw a picture. It took me a few seconds to process what I was seeing.
All the one way we go. And you still hit the pole them. All the one way we go, Granted, I've never flew a plane. I don't know what it takes to land one. But I feel like we have enough space. Anyway, The St. So on Sunday afternoon, the wing of this national airline aircraft collided with a light pole at the RLB International Airport. We are not certain how the accident occurred, but it certainly caught the attention of passers by on the F.T. Williams Highway at the airport. And
Yeah.
apparently that's the full story. Wow, that was short and sweet.
Because nobody knows what happened. Like, nobody understands how this happened.
That's true.
The pole don't move, you know.
No, the pole didn't jump in the way of the plane. It didn't,
The pole.
you know?
I don't think the pilot has one of those shrinking panes that should have shrunk the wings as it moved across the tarmac. So I don't know what was happening.
Neither am I. I'm not sure either. But I don't think anyone was injured, thankfully.
What did this happen?
Sunday.
It's probably just thinking about faded out.
Do you think the plane was flying in and watching the festivities?
That might have been
And the pilot got distracted?
Pilot, maybe who was it was Akai performing anywhere while the plane was landing, because that might have been.
Let me check the time and tell you if I could see a time. There was no time, but
That's probably the most likely reason. Akai was performing, the pilot was probably distracted by all the goings-ons.
the posteriors that were on display. I could see how you would be distracted by that. I was distracted. Granted, I didn't have a plane to play, so I feel like I could be distracted at the time.
Yeah. I don't know, but it's very interesting because there's a few things that crossed my mind at the time, seeing the picture. It was like, how does one really investigate something like that? Because the thing is, you should have a co-pilot as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
My understanding on those types of flights. And then the plane could move. Like the plane can't really fly so easy again, because I feel they'd have to do a lot of, even if it's minor damage, it might take a lot of, they might have to go through a lot of processes to ensure that it's like fly approved or fly ready again, flight ready. So I hope this didn't inconvenience passengers too much. See, I always be like, I wish I could do the whole exit the plane on the slide one time, but it would have to be an accident like this. The reason why I don't really complain about it too much is because you don't want to ask for it, and then you end up in a weird situation, like you're in the sea or something.
Yeah, you have to be very careful about what you ask for, friend.
Exactly. Like, it looks fun, but at the same time, the situation to get to that don't seem as fun.
As in 1 second, let me just peep outside of the door.
All right, no problem. But yeah, guys, I have on several occasions thought about how much fun it might be to do the little inflatable slide out of the airplane. But unfortunately, let's say fortunately, I have not been given that pleasure. And I'm cool with that. I'm gonna live with that. You okay, Jay? Everything good?
Yes, friend, I am quite fine. Just reading the comments here.
I was wondering if I need to call somebody.
Sorry?
I was wondering if I need to call somebody.
Oh, no. Somebody's saying there's a crisis in journalism in SKN. There has always been a crisis in journalism in SKN. I mean, there's been some improvements. I feel like the journalists now are asking some harder questions and approaching situations differently. But I do think that because we are such a small community, that sometimes it's harder for them to ask the questions that they may need to ask, because some of them have no.
But the reason I'm saying no, I think that one of the bigger issues is that even when questions are asked, people don't feel obligated to give the information. One of the hardest things in St. Kitts is just getting information. just getting information is difficult, and there's not a lot of consequences or expectations. As a matter of fact, in situations where the questions are asked and the person skirts around the answer, there's people who generally support the responses. So I think there's a few factors. I mean, the factor that you discussed is true, because we have seen it. We have seen how journalists have had to pay a price for just trying to do their job, and you know, and stuff like that. So yeah, it definitely is an issue. Definitely is an issue.
Yeah, somebody saying journalism is investigative journalism does not exist. Listen, if the people start to actually investigate some of these people, right? Oh God, y'all gonna rile up an ant's nest, and I don't know if y'all really want to, you know? Oh Lord. What? Oh. Sorry, my camera gonna leave me. But yeah, I feel like
I could agree with that. You know how you get these specials on like 60 Minutes or like ABC News and such and such and such. You don't really get that here. You don't really get people just like seeing something that perhaps needs to be put out and then going and do the investigation. I don't even know how that process would work in St. Kitts. You know, that process seems like it would be difficult.
I think so too, especially again because we're such a small island. Like I feel like it would be hard to do that type of, because one thing about us here, we don't have no type of like what's that word where you're supposed to not tell anybody. When you're supposed to not tell anybody, what's that term called again?
Discretion. I don't
yes,
know,
not discretion. The other one. The reason why people afraid to go to the therapist here, the reason why people afraid to go to the hospitals is because we don't have any.
Yeah.
Help me. The word's slipping me.
Yeah, but you're saying that there's just not an assurance that what you give would remain private.
Yes. Yes. It's very hard for you for a journalist to go and give information on a particular person. Confidentiality. Thank you, Erica. Oh, that word was slipping me. But it's very hard for people here to go and give information and feel like, okay, well, this information isn't going to link back to me. Because it might just do. It might just do that, and now you're in a whole lawsuit for defamation. And people don't want to get mixed up in all of that, honestly.
I think it's that when you, like I said, when you have a history of victimization, not only from like government entities, but private businesses and stuff like that, like you kind of stifle people being willing to speak to the press and stuff like that. And
then not only that, when you speak out on certain things, you are then basically criminalized and made to feel like your experience is invalid because they don't feel like you should have said this, or you're trying to ruin some good person's life. And when these things literally happen, they don't look at it as you are the victim. You now become the criminal. You now become the person that is deemed as the black sheep because you said, oh, this person did this to you, and because this person is a big person in this position, you are now demonized. So I don't know how y'all want the people to go out and investigate and do all of these things when the public itself doesn't make it any easier.
Yeah. But the thing about it, as much as we say now this, and this is the situation, we understand it. Like, yeah, good journalism, investigative journalism that gets to the bottom of issues that really affect people, that's necessary and needed. It is necessary. Just, who can be the sacrificial lamb?
Listen, I feel like the only times stories come out, and some of them don't even make sense, and some of them don't be true. But I feel like some of the times, the only times certain stories come out is when it's election time. Like, I've been looking at the socials and the things that have been going back and forth. People just, you know, it is time to air out the dirty laundry, and people taking full advantage of that. Things
I
that
think
even have nothing to do with the situation at hand coming out. And that's just the nature of the game. But hopefully this election cycle is going to bring some clarity. Hopefully the journalists are going to do some more work and be less afraid to speak out and ask the hard questions, because it's necessary.
Yeah, definitely necessary. Yeah. And now is it, like you said, now is the time when people tend to be a little more loose-lipped.
Loose-fingered, not loose-lipped, loose-fingered.
Loose-lipped too, because when they start on the platform,
Oh.
It's true. We'll see.
It's true. We missed that call. Caller, feel free to call back. You want to talk about? Oh, ma'am, never mind. They're calling back. After we get off the phone, we could talk about what's happening in the BVI. Oh, we missed that one. Caller, feel free to call back. But yes, I'm pretty sure you've been following this. Listen, before we even continue, I tell you, you know, give it some time. Somebody gonna take the spotlight off of St. Kitts.
The ironic thing about it was I literally was talking to Premier Faye. Like I just like.
Fred, where are you accepting? Where are you accepting, Fred?
No, he was at the. Remember, I went to the carnival and he was at the carnival and you know, speaking.
Oh.
And so yeah, I met him before.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was in Tartola a few years ago, and the overwhelming comments, because I was both on the stage and like out in the front in the crowd where they was talking, and people seem to, even people who obviously weren't supporters of his party, seem to be in agreement with the sentiments he was expressing on the night, and had some one person actually told me they believe that he has the best interest of the country at heart, even though they had a difference in opinion on how to achieve what was best. So they weren't a supporter of him, but they did say they felt that as though he had the best interest of the country at heart.
Two things can be true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, two things can be true. He can have the best interest at heart of the country, and also could be into some shady dealings, allegedly. Because me ain't got money to nobody.
Humans are complex creatures.
Very much so. Very much so. But for those who weren't here last week, who weren't present, Premier Fahy is the premier of the BVI, and he got caught up in alleged drug dealing where, was it the CIA, the FBI, which one of the abbreviations he went to meet with?
One of them.
One of the many police abbreviations in the US.
They catch Buju, they're going to catch somebody else.
I tell you, we as humans, we need to learn from other people's mistakes.
Driver.
Don't stop at all. He stop at the airport. He gonna meet. Yes, Mr. Premier Fahy and another individual whose name I can't remember at this moment, but she, because I thought it was a he, was in. Oh no, it was a she. I saw the mugshot. I said, Miss, what are you doing here? What are you doing in there? DEA. Thank you. I know it was one of the abbreviations. A lot of America got the most abbreviations: CIA, FBI, DEA, NCIS. But yes, the person who was with Premier Fahy was in charge of the ports. And they allegedly went to meet with the DEA, who were disguised as the Sinaloan cartel, to do some, negotiations of sorts with the white girl and some movement of her body parts through the BVI onto other places. And yes, they were caught up. Somebody was trying to convince me last week that I was entrapment. So it cannot be. They went. If I is pronounced Foy. I think that's how we pronouncing him. You tell me I met him. Foy? So we spell
Yeah, it's English. His words.
I just piss me off and I do these things, you know.
It don't make sense.
How Fahie pronounced as Foy? Anyway. Is your name? I can't argue with you. So Premier Foy.
But Jed, okay.
You want us to read this article before we?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So some developments happened over the weekend, of course. And Premier Foy seeks to invoke immunity in U.S. cocaine case. Attorneys representing embattled British Virgin Islands Premier Andrew Foy have filed an application for his immediate release on the grounds his position as a sitting head of government makes him immune from prosecution in the U.S. courts. In the filing this afternoon, attorney Teresa Van Vle, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, said Premier of the Virgin Islands hereby notices his invocation of all rights of and to immunity under international and domestic law. As the duly elected and sitting head of government of the Virgin Islands, a British overseas territory, including but not limited to immunity from arrest and detention, entitling him to immediate and unconditional release from detention by the United States. Van Vle wrote that Foy should be released since there has been no waiver of the immunity granted to him under international and domestic law. Foy, 51, was arrested last week by U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA, during a sting operation. The criminal complaint alleged Foy, BVI Ports Director Olivine Maynard, had visited the Miami Opa-locka Executive Airport to meet people who they thought were representatives of a Mexican drug cartel. Foy and Maynard were arrested as they exited a private jet. Foy, Maynard, and her son Kadim have been charged with money laundering and drug trafficking offenses. They are due back in court on Wednesday. There have been calls for Foy to resign from office. The ruling Virgin Islands Party has voted him as its chairman and elected acting premier, Dr. Natalio Wheatley, as his replacement. Efforts are being made to make Wheatley the substantive leader. Yeah.
What is interesting about this is there is copies of some of the court documents, some of the stuff that's been presented. It includes transcripts. It's like a 40-page document that I began reading, and I ain't looking.
Guess a lesson of sister where reads along. I had to read an 8-page document. I ain't gonna read a 40-page document. You're crazy. That's a novel.
They're literally asking the man the questions that they're gonna use to just. It's like if you I guess looking back at it now, you're reading it and you could just see they were just setting you up there.
And he just fell for it.
What about customs? What about customs? How are we going to get to customs?
Like, sir, you have not watched no crime show? None through your entire life?
Man just say, yo, I got to unlock. Allegedly. But
allegedly.
I mean, I'm just but Jay, I think this brings up a bigger issue. A few weeks ago, we were talking about the fact that guns, we know guns are on the island. And when we start talking about how these guns get in here, in these large quantities and the type of guns that we're seeing and the ammunition and stuff like that, it must signal that there are people in high places who are involved. Like the street men don't have the money or the
The
connections.
connections. Somebody in higher places have to be facilitating these things. And
So
when people, sorry, go ahead.
a few years ago, actually a lot of years ago now, I was speaking to a friend of mine who was studying criminology, and he says, "Oh, I read about your country," and I was like, "Well, yeah."
Huh?
Oh no. But what did you read? And he goes, right now we're studying a specific topic, and one of the case studies is actually St. Kitts and Nevis. I said, what's the case? What's the topic? He says, narco democracies. So he goes, yeah, man, like, I didn't know y'all would deal. I said, I don't think most of the persons on the island understand that is a thing, like that we literally in textbooks. We literally in textbooks as a
For
case
the
study
wrong reasons.
what a narco democracy. And like we have to be aware of we have to be aware of the fact that the things that we see happening on the island, it must take the collaboration of persons who are in high position. Like
Yeah, there's no way for some. Listen, ports and other places are number one when it comes to illegal things being entered into the country. We've seen this in different countries, different shows. We literally could turn on our TV and see a show about how to money launder. And y'all think these things come from imagination? No. They're just repeating what has been done many, many, many times. The case in the BVI isn't new or isn't something that is just like never happened before.
mm-hmm.
These things happen all over.
I think what it is that as much as we understand that this must be going on, like there are people in high positions who must be involved in some of these types of activities, that one, the expectation is that they're insulated and not being watched by some of the international agencies, right? So you don't normally so the surprise comes from, oh, they get catch.
Yeah.
And two, I do believe that sometimes when we say, oh, they have to be people, like that doesn't put a face and a name to the person.
Mm-hmm.
When you put a face and a name, now you start personalizing the tragedy, and you start going, I'd never expect him. You understand? So that's where some of the surprise comes from as well. Like, as much as you know it's happening and whatever, you don't know who. And once you have a who, then you start watching like, oh, but he's such a nice, and
two things can be true.
Things can be true. Three things can be true.
And a matter of fact, those are the people that you expect to do these things. You can't expect a small man off the road who ain't on a connections pull or anything to just be doing these things. No. What somebody call it suit, jacket, and tie badness? Yes.
Mm-hmm. I think what you would want to know is that the expectation is that the persons who are in those positions are uncorruptible. Unfortunately, that is hardly ever the case.
Uncorruptible, right?
Yeah, we want and so what should be our expectation as the public? What should be our expectation?
We expect that you should do these things, but when you do these things, we also expect that you are punished.
Yeah, exactly. And so, and that was what I was getting to. You would want to believe that when persons are caught, then you pay the consequence. You go, and there is not any special concessions afforded to you based on your position. So now when you're here, you're trying to invoke immunity.
I said the audacity.
Yeah, I mean, do you believe that there should be a clause where there's a referendum and the people decide whether or not they want him to face charges or not?
Yes, I also feel like there should be a clause where, yes, you have diplomatic immunity until until you do things like these, like you're diplomatic. So because you feel like you got diplomatic immunity, you could just be out here doing nonsense? So no.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Have you ever seen persons who've had diplomatic passports go to an airport?
No.
Well, I have. Some of them military, actually, some of them, I used to be traveling through like the US and I would watch the military personnel who have like there's a maroon passport, there's a maroon American passport, right? I'm telling you, Jay, there's a maroon, everybody know the blue American passport, I think. And everybody know the English one, maroon and stuff like that. Well, there's a maroon US passport. And the people I just see with that passport there, them there, they just walk through anything here. They just walk, they don't stay in the line, they don't go to global entry, they don't know the TSA, they don't know the security, they just go through.
Gone.
Like,
Well, how you were telling me that Premier Foy complained to the DEA undercover agents that on a previous shipment to the BVI, he was never paid. This man just taking the BVI for joke, by. Sir. Sir.
yeah, that
Just
that
incriminate yourself more, no?
yeah, that document is
Quite telling?
I mean, and sadly, if the things that are being the things that are in that document are true, greed is a thing that will put you in a it was a lesson in how greed could cause you to behave in a way that is detrimental to your own self. That's why I was getting.
I mean, we've seen that time and time again. Usually, most of these things happen because of greed, not because people desperate for food, not because they need things to feed their family. No, they already have all those things, but greed and power, boy. Let's have y'all out here looking crazy. Y'all out here behaving like y'all in narcos.
There's ways to insulate yourself, Jade. You know, but you have to pay for those ways.
Oh.
And a lot of times people just don't want to pay.
Crime. Anyway, let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning.
Good morning. Interesting topic. It is true that greed have no cure. There's no way you can take a tablet and cure yourself from greed. It's just that you have to personally manage and stop yourself and control and beg your friends to warn you about the flashes of greed. And anybody could get caught up in the act of being greedy. And then you're the one who passing laws and so on to stop people from committing crime, and you're committing crime. So I don't know. So for some reason or another, we have to find ways and means so that our friends can really talk us out of these things. And some people go to the church and jump up and pray in the holy thing and so on. But eventually, whatever a man sow, that shall he also shall reap.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody's going to get away. Nobody's better than anybody else. And so, no matter what we think, we just have to be careful that we don't fall in similar traps, because they're waiting for us. So it is nothing really to rejoice about. It's something that we should all be on our guard and be cautious, because it's not for the lack of wanting, it's not for the lack of need, but greed. Like you keep on touching it and you keep on pushing it and saying, people get greedy and they forget what they have and trying to get the same thing that they have and more of it. Thank you very much for the education, and do have a great day.
You as well. Thank you. Yeah. Yes, it's only 18 or 19 pages, but we exaggerate here because, we could. So, as if you see, you got the people about here looking for the next 20 pages. Yes. It's only 19 pages. Sorry, guys. It's not 40 pages. But yes, somebody said, they know how the cartel moves. Why would he risk his family? That's another point. Like, even if you didn't get caught up by the DEA, sir, why you not gonna mix up with the cartel? The cartels of all people, sir.
Jade, I think what we have to recognize too is that culturally, there's maybe a cultural element here as well. I think allegedly there is well, no, not allegedly, but there is a belief that there's certain areas of the Caribbean where the movement of drugs have been facilitated for years and years and years and years.
Mm-hmm.
And so much so that it's almost like there's almost like an open secret that you kind of know in some countries. I can tell you something. In some countries, everybody know who the drug people are.
Mm.
And because of our culture in the Caribbean, where we don't see a lot of heavy usage of these drugs, I think people don't really care too much. People don't care too much, like, because you kind of facilitate it going from one place to the next, and it don't really stay in these countries.
Mm-hmm.
Some money gets left behind, and I think people appreciate that. People appreciate the money. People appreciate the fact that, hey, I know there's this person in my community that if my child needs some shoes, I could go to.
Mm-hmm.
And I might have a suspicion as to where you're getting the money from. But the product isn't something that I then have to worry about my child walking on the street and seeing. And so it's an open secret and it's tolerated.
And
if
it's tolerated until the bigger heads get involved and the information comes out that they're involved. Then all of a sudden, we have a big war on drugs, we have a big problem in the community, we need to clean up the community. Well, why wasn't cleaning it up when you was involved?
Yeah, I think, and I don't even think that's the case, because I think a lot of people, believe it might be embarrassing. A lot of people believe, but I don't think a lot of people literally like. And let's be honest, when we're talking about this and we understand that there is a real issue in terms of governance, because you want people who are upstanding, you want people who have the best interests of the country at heart, you want people who, like we said, are uncorruptible, and it's important to have people who you believe that you can trust and righteous that would make positive decisions, not based on greed, etc., 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 etc. And we understand that. I think a lot of people really and truly, the concern that they have to this thing doesn't match up with the importance of what exactly is happening.
Mm-hmm.
One, because there's other things going on in their life, and two, because, again, culturally, people just may not be as concerned.
Well, in the BVA they are currently, because we have some nationals that have reacted to the possible temporary suspension of the Constitution.
Yeah, but you see, a lot of that is, to me, no, the political system has to do its thing. It has to go through the process. The party in itself has to make decisions to salvage its credibility, and such, right? So
yeah, can everybody watching them sideways like, how are you not the man doing this?
Right. Who else? And the question being asked now, who else involved?
Yeah.
So there now has to be a separation. Right? There now has to be persons start to distance themselves.
Somebody said, well, you see what happened when you talk a lot? Because apparently there was in there just airing out the news to the DEA agents. Like, how you...
You need to read the document, Jade. Read the document. You got things in there, I just watching, like, and again, maybe because you have the knowledge that what this was, it just seemed like you're just talking a lot. But what I'm saying is, Jade, I think a lot of people now are going to feel about it because it disrupts their daily life, right? They're now going to see a disruption. I think that's where it comes from. I don't think a lot of people are, and I'm saying this because I'm speaking to a lot of people on the ground and thing. And when I hear them talk about it, they talk more about why you stupid and why you should, what he said, what he went to say, he could have sent somebody. You got to go
That's what I
fall
tell you.
guy.
Not that he get caught. That he get caught. You know, is how he get caught.
Right. And then on top of that, now when people start having issues with what is happening, it has to do with the response, and what it means for the country now.
Well, let me give
Right.
y'all some insight into that. So, the recommendation made for temporary partial suspension of the Constitution of the British Virgin Islands in a commission of inquiry report into the governance of the BVI has been met with mixed reactions from the public. It is among several recommendations in the COI report, which found that corruption ran deep in the overseas territory. UK Minister for the Overseas Territories, Amanda Milling, has been dispatched to the British Virgin Islands for governance talks. Foreign Secretary Liz Truss said Milling will report back to her and a way forward will be announced next week. BVI nationals took to social media to share their thoughts on the issue. One man expressed his view about the BVI's future. Say goodbye to self-governance. A woman offered prayers for her country. Oh God, continue to help us, the people of the Virgin Islands. Amen. Okay. Another commenter wondered about the consequences of such a move. Suspending our constitution will potentially mean rewriting it. Other commentators believe a return to being under the direct rule of the UK was already in the cards for the BVI. He only saying something we knew for years. There we go, right back to the Queen. The next male commenter said, we already knew this was coming. The BVI COI report of Commissioner Sir Gary Hickenbottom made 4 primary recommendations out of 45, which include the temporary partial suspension of the Constitution, constitutional review, curtailment of open-ended discretion, and audits and investigations.
Yeah, people having their views. One of the things that I found interesting was there is a document circulating again that seems to be comments made by the Premier. And the way I remember I was having a discussion. I said, what do you think the message to the people going to be? And I need to go reach out to that friend because I was right. I told him, I said, he's going to play, the tone of what he's going to say is going to be nationalistic. It's going to be a call for independence and self-determination. And so said, so done. This document says, unfortunately, I have minimal access to media here in Miami detention, with only access to media websites and court websites for a short period of time. This is my message to the people of the territory. Please post and forward to other online journals. By people of the Virgin Islands, I was framed by our colonial masters with the help of the United States to oust myself from office, embarrass the VIP party, but most importantly, bring doubt and shame to the people of the Virgin Islands. Do not be fooled by this. The God of the universe allows no weapon to prosper against the righteous, and I know that I will prevail. I will not submit my resignation to His Excellency the Governor, and upon my expected release under bail conditions this Wednesday, I will resume my role as Premier of our beautiful land. Now is the time to unite and rally against Britain, which I intend to lead. Please do not allow this minor British-led entrapment to divert our eyes and mind from the true issue at heart, right and determination to set our own destiny as a people. You shall hear from me live Wednesday after my release. Expect to be briefed on our way forward. Thank you for trusting in my leadership and continue to ask the Lord to bless our country. Sincerely, Andrew A. Foy, Premier Virgin Islands, U.K.
You just make up that. You just make up that. Did. I said, well, you lied. The man said that. The man did say that. Well, you lied.
It's the colonial masters, Jade.
Why?
and it's a minor entrapment.
Why are you so audacious? Why are you so audacious?
They
Why
just
are you so audacious, for you? Like,
want to embarrass the people of the country.
so you is the one embarrassing the Who he said wants to embarrass them?
He said it is the colonial masters in collaboration. When I say in collaboration, he said with the help of the United States.
What? Sir, come on now. You might as well just come out and say I made a mistake and I'm sorry. Why would you say? Wow.
Jay, you are a politician and you find
Wow.
yourself in a meeting
with who you thought was the Sinaloa cartel, sir? So who saw all them things in the document? Who said all them things in the 18, 19 page document as him?
I don't know.
Because... Boy. The man said, try to entrap him, you know? The man said, minor entrap. Sir, you were caught trying to smuggle drugs again. This ain't the first time you do it allegedly, according to you. Ain't I say it? We didn't even know. We didn't know about this. Is you tell us all of this, you know? You tell us all of this. Now you're going to say the people have tried to entrap you. Bro, come on now.
Oh, this. But Jay, we're talking about the Sinaloa and cartel, right? One of the things that was interesting to me is that it's not only just them, you know, it's also this Lebanese group, Hezbollah, that like involved in this thing too, you know. Like the kind of people, these people, you like avoid meetings with these people.
Listen.
You
Being a premier of nobody, of nowhere. But I feel like if I was one and there are certain entities like cartels, not vibes, deciding that we should meet to discuss the movement of anything through any type of border, you probably should be like, nah. I think this ain't for me. I think the position I have and hold, I should probably sit this one out. Maybe it's just me. Because let me take a call here because I wonder if the caller here what you just said. I don't want to believe the caller here what you just said. I want to believe you just make it up. Because no where this man come out and say that for you. When you say he going live Wednesday tomorrow? What time? Because maybe see this I never been some more interested in BVA news until today. As it made me see this press conference, I can behave like the Prime Minister going to talk to me.
My fellow citizens.
He better start, so you know. The man said they tried to entrap him. The man said the US and what he called them again?
The colonial masters.
Tried to entrap him. Oh, what? Aye, different, you know. Being alive, aye.
You know, right? Some of the things that you're reading in this. Aye.
Damn.
Because apparently there's this confidential source. They're giving them all this information. And it's just, why? So the confidential source then proposed a test run of 3,000 kilograms of cocaine on a big boat following the route described above. He said he would need a license, and after the test run, they would do 4 months of shipments. The parties again discussed the need to involve FI and government official one. With regard to Maynard, Kadim said she knows the premier. He's done with her. So he can go to him at any time and he would say, okay. Maynard added, you see with my premier, he's a little crook sometimes. He's not always. Jade, this thing read like a cartoon script, Jade.
What you said just now?
You have to wait for the quotes. Like every time you get to a quote, it just make you go, what?
I got this thing as a joke, daddy. I got this thing as a joke. as a big joke. My premiere is what? Not bad.
It's how I put it, you know. Maynard added, you see, with my premiere, he's a little cook sometimes. He's not always straight.
You think? Maybe look at the meeting are you in, you think? What? I think it's quite clear. I'm pretty sorry. Wait, got me cry. I can't even read the comments on the ear.
The thing about it is the things that they're saying is like imagine this. The government officials in describing the premier said, another man, if he sees an opportunity, he will take it. Another type of person he is, so I know he will take the opportunity. As to herself, Maynard said, if you come to me and I don't want to do it, I say, hey, I'm not interested. If I'm interested, I say, I am interested.
Why?
What are you about?
This is real. This is why England want to leave back the country. Because they give you itch and take a mile. They give you a whole itch, you know? And look what I do with the inch. Look at what y'all do with the inch. When Netflix gonna pick up this one, by? This is why you want to see on Netflix.
Foy said he needed an upfront payment of $500,000 and that he would handle the ports and the airports.
They should have let him walk out with the money. They should have let him walk out with the money as him. Because how you gonna explain that you got the money in your account, sir? What the money doing in your account, sir?
The thing about it for me, right, is that even though they believe they're talking to like drug dealers, the ease of the conversation is what's interesting to me.
They're talking like they're friends from a long time.
I could find it. There's this one particular point. That's like, this is how you talk to drug dealers. Like, I mean, I've never really been in conversation with drug dealers. So I don't know.
Neither have I. I don't know drug dealer etiquette, but
yeah, I don't know drug dealer etiquette. But listen, the parties then agreed to set up a meeting with Foy for April 7th. The confidential source thanked Maynard and she responded, yeah, my brother, no. I'll be there with you every step of the way.
Okay. I like it. That's the kind of loyalty I got to your drug dealer. I don't know how we go, but I feel like
this is how the conversations is going between drug dealers. So very cordial, so very, you know what I mean?
But hey, I'm laughing. What is?
Like
what is this, bro? Remove them there, please. They're out here embarrassing the country fully, you know? Fully as them from conversation to dealings.
I would have preferred that your premier and the persons representing the government in meetings with the drug dealers would be a little more aggressive and drug dealerish.
Yeah, like, you know.
That's so nice and accommodating. But watch you.
His wife, who's for his wife is a big shot in the BVI bank. I love it. Family business, yes. I love it. Oh, let me tell you. Sorry guys. I know y'all like when I laugh too much, but this is hilarious. This is I tell you, just give it a week and somebody gonna out embarrass us.
Yep.
Somebody gonna out embarrass us. Look how they just take over.
One up. It's a one up game.
This ain't a one as him. This ain't a one. Me mother's hereby. What you find the time yet? I need to know what time this press conference coming on tomorrow, you know. If it coming on between LNT time, I will not be here.
I don't know if it's a press conference. I don't know what the plan is, but he did say he would release some statement or something tomorrow.
The man said he addressing his public and he's not resigning. You ain't resigning, sir? Good morning, caller, you're live.
Hello.
Turn on your radio, please.
Yes, good morning.
Morning.
Look, these people, right? I don't know if you know there's a program and if you're on YouTube too, you can get it on YouTube called FBI File, right?
Oh, I love that.
Right. If you look at FBI File with situation like that, you see these guys, these FBI agents and so, or the DEA guys and so, they don't just go, like I meet you today and just make deal with you, you know.
Of course not.
You know? They investigate you, they get people, your friends, and probably even other colleagues in the government with him. They probably had working with them too, you know. Yeah. It's not like they're gonna just meet him and the thing. And when you look at the FBI file, it's what these guys do. They feed you. They give you some today. So next time they go, they up it a bit.
They basically give you enough rope to hang yourself.
When they have enough evidence, then they throw the big fish at you, which I understand the kind of money that they put out at him there. How much people, when you want to do wrongdoing, how much people would ignore that kind of money? You know, if you want to do wrong things, how much people are going to turn down that kind of money? Not much people, and that is what these people do to anybody who gets in situations like that. You know, and then you see the next thing what he said, he's gonna control. You don't worry, I'm gonna control the ports and the airports for you. So that the part they take care of is going to be taken care of by me. So, how much of things? Let's say that he was really drug dealers. How much of things and what kind of things he probably would have been letting in his country, and then going in Parliament and say he singing laws to come back the same thing.
Hypocrite boy.
Carlo.
Hello?
Yeah, let me ask you a question because you just make a statement there, but that kind of outside.
I'm hearing you clearly on the phone.
Okay, I'll turn you down for a second. Go ahead, Azim.
Yeah, so I was saying that he was saying that they allow these things into the country and then you're going, but I believe that part of what plays into the decision making here is the fact that these drugs wasn't going to stay in the country. Like I think part of it why a lot of people, even when they talk to some people, they're saying, well, they were facilitating the movement through our ports, and yes, they come up to the ports, and yeah, he needs to pay a price. But in terms of the response of a lot of people is like, well, the drugs wasn't going to stay here. The money was going to stay here.
That's what it is.
So, okay, you can turn it back down now.
Yeah. That is what they say. But don't people? If he's facilitating wrongdoing, right? In terms of allowing it to come to the country, you don't think you got the people who really is gonna handle it, gonna probably do wrong things too?
Oh, they're gonna pinch off a piece, yes. They're gonna pinch off a little piece to sell amongst themselves, but
So, when they pinch off a little piece, how much of a little piece that little piece would be that is going to stay in the country? And then the next thing I think I heard, I think that's our article, right? Where when there was in the discussion, he seems to get a kind of suspicious based on probably some of the questions that there was, things that they were saying to him. And I think he mentioned to them that, are you sure you're not police or something like that? And they said, no. And why are you so worried? You don't gotta worry because you ain't gonna handle it, you ain't gonna touch it. You ain't gonna touch it, you're just gonna allow it to think. And he said, well, if I have to touch it or thing, I would do, especially the kind of money that would be paid to him. He has to touch it.
No.
Huh?
No, in that I actually have the exact place here. Thing. He said he's just explained to Fai. First of all, you're not touching anything. Fai replied, I will touch one thing, the money.
Listen, let me go off the radio. Let me go off the radio, please.
You got to read this thing.
I'm going to read it. May I get to read it this weekend, but I'm going to read it today.
What could happen here too? With the customs and stuff? That only put in ideas in people's head as to when they say they're opening the barrels up there before you come there, right? Who knows if somebody would have, they got these deals with people outside where they put things in your stuff and they open them and they take them out before you reach there. You just put these things, because when you hear big people doing these things, they put things in other people's head, so maybe, and people start to look at innocent people in that kind of light too.
Listen, they're going to work it out. Thank you, Carlo. By this transcript suite, as if somebody is asking where they could find it. I know you sent it to me. I don't know where there's a copy, but I know you sent it to me, so I'm going to read it. Erica, girl, I don't know what to tell you, but the person, the man say you only touching one thing by the money.
Yeah, the thing is so crazy. But one of the things that was interesting to me, I know we have to go, is also they were also discussing even allowing the seizures of some drugs and some money to avoid suspicion. Like all of that was like being discussed. Like, so
he going to jail, yeah. He going to jail. As if he's not going to jail. He's going to jail.
Yeah, rough. It really is. It's really a damning account of the dealings. And
well,
he did express some concerns with law enforcement during the discussion, because he basically said that the British government have been trying to get him off of office. He said,
I wonder why.
I don't sell them out to the British with their plans. Their plans are to catch all the people, like what you said. They always want to capture people. But me, I see what they're doing and I protect the people. Yeah,
wow.
Bye. But nobody was there to protect you. Bye.
Bye.
Like,
I know you're going to jail. I'm going to lie to you.
Yeah, they actually, yeah. The man actually said, I have no issues with your questions about, the law enforcement thing, and thank you, and I understand. It's just trust. We can do it, or we cannot do it.
He campaigning to the drug dealers, them? Can't tell me, he's not like he campaign. As if come, let's go off the radio.
I'm saying the British government trying to catch all the people, and he ain't selling out the people.
Yeah, technically, sir. Well, no, you're sending out the people, you're sending out the borders, but I guess.
I wonder if this is something that when we look back could lead to a push for independence in the BBI. It might be a weird way to get there, but who knows?
No. No. The monarchy gonna be like, I give y'all some freedom. Look what y'all long there doing with it.
Right.
This is going to have the opposite effect of what they wanted, because trust me, the monarchy done watching them like, I tell you, sir. We give the man a little inch, it's like a mile. Don't be selling out the bottom. Bye.
But yeah, guys, we gotta go. We gotta leave. We gotta disembark. It's been a wonderful day. I'm glad to be back after a little hiatus. Hopefully you guys recover tonight from the weekend, because we know y'all didn't recover yet.
Watch a lot of people in the back room, the work back room right now, Nothing.
Head on. The stall is taking a fight.
Yeah, it's necessary. And we would have solved this problem if the offices, the workplaces just install a nap room. A little rest area.
Yeah, priorities. They ain't gonna parking, they ain't gonna nap area. Why are you doing with that yourself, bye?
But that's anyway, people for vaccination. Anyway.
Yeah, but guys, thank you so much, all you guys who joined us on Facebook, YouTube, whether you're logged on Win Media SKN's website or one of the other digital platforms. We appreciate you. Those of you who commented and joined the conversation, whether by calls or by text, we appreciate you so much.
Definitely.
Thank you. Because really and truly, what we do here is really, it wouldn't mean anything without you guys being involved. So we appreciate it. Nama said, make sure to love Mother Nature. And we need to echo those sentiments. People out here wilding with their trash, you all need to cool.
Yeah, man.
But your time is fast spent, and so we'll move. We move.
I know somebody who ain't moving.
Bye.
You're gonna rest your body. You're gonna rest your body over in somebody's prison. Don't worry.
Bye.
You and your accomplice them.
Looking bad, bye.
Your country gonna pray for you, as you ask.
But
may
guys,
not pray but anyway.
But yeah, guys, remember, please spend more time living your content than posting it. And you can't be everybody's cup of tea, because you is not a mug. We're gonna see you guys tomorrow.